Notice hereby given to all interested persons in the City Council, City of Odessa, Texas, will meet for a special council meeting today, Tuesday, June 6, 2023, at 3 p.m. in the City Council Chambers, 5th floor, City Hall. Item 1, I call this meeting officially to order. Let me get our official recorders. Do I need to do that over again? Item 1, I officially call this meeting to order. Item 2, review the trimetrics process for council's benchmarks. Mr. Lunt, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor and members of council, thanks so much for the opportunity to be here with you today. Mike and I are delighted to present you with, in executive session, your first round of candidates, our best candidates to consider. We're also delighted to present to you a revised timeline, and we're pleased to see the agenda today to give an opportunity to discuss that. So thank you again for having us here. I can't see that up there. Are you all able to see my screen? Yes. Awesome, cool. All right. So what I intend to do, consistent with the agenda, is provide a recap of our overall progress and process. We will, assuming we move into executive session, give you an initial presentation of the best candidates and go through that. Also, we'll be finalizing the next steps of our process. If we're going to be issuing the trimetrics assessment and do all of that and finalize it. And then, of course, consistent with the last agenda item today, we'll finalize T2 Professional Consulting's participation in the remainder of this process. So where have we been and where are we at? In January of 2023, what you've got here is a chart that lists completed deliverables on the left as well as their impact on the right. So T2 Professional Consulting began engaging in executive coaching and guidance for the interim city manager and city attorney. In addition, when you all engaged with us, you retained our services and expertise for executive coaching, public information and communications management, which we worked with Monica, executive recruitment and selection services, department director and assistant director training, and social media training as well. And those completed deliverables provided the impacts listed there on the right-hand side. Immediate guidance for some difficult employee relations challenges that the city was facing, development of citywide assessment tools, which we ultimately administered through the entire staff through surveys, assistance with brand management, communications, and that kind of thing. In February, as we moved forward, we reviewed all of the personnel policies for the city. You may recall when we made our presentation to council, that was a significant part of what we discussed that we needed to work on. In addition, we issued the organizational surveys to all city staff. We initiated organizational assessments, including diagnostic interviews with staff, residents, business owners, community leaders, and we completed a personnel turnover study. There were a lot of questions as to whether or not there had been a mass exodus and why different individuals may be leaving, and we were able to shed light on that. As a result of our work, we created an unbiased and psychologically safe environment where employees could voice concerns, and we could bring that information back to you. We also provided the city with reset the clock training and opportunities to mitigate any potential liability from previous practices. And we disproved the overall negative mass exodus narrative that was happening. In March of 23, we presented the results of our comprehensive assessment to council. We created the city manager job benchmark process and completed that. We updated the city manager job description with all of you, customizing that for specifically the Odessa position. And we customized and finished the assessment techniques that we would utilize. In presenting that comprehensive strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis, that drove the city manager benchmark. So in addition to providing that information as to where the city was, that also allowed you all to communicate very clearly what your ideal candidate profile was. And that's what we've created in our assessment practices. We provided a reference for the Mirachi Management Group to overhaul personnel policies and provide a completely up-to-date compliant policy manual. HR began providing harassment discrimination training that was lacking. And for every EEOC claim that may have been prevented, that saves about $125,000. So this was the benchmark that was presented and approved by council on March 21st. You may recall a slide very, very similar to this. Basically, whenever I referenced this slide back in March, we found congruence in our work through the job quiz, which is what you all completed, our work that we did here in this room. We found congruence between the survey data that we issued to all city employees, and we found congruence in the interview and focus groups process. And that's what we used to build the benchmark. This was the actual benchmark in combination with the city manager job description that we all created together. And the assessments that we have are designed to provide light into how closely someone may relate to these benchmarks. By utilizing these tools, this was the tool to come that I showed you during that presentation as well. And once the candidates take the trimetrics assessment, we will be provided with this data, and that helps us and you to select final interview questions and any final interview practices that you want to engage in to ensure that the candidate that you ultimately select is the ideal candidate for Odessa. This slide, in exactly the way it's presented, was also presented and approved by council on March 21st. This slide, particularly on the right-hand side, outlined the additional scope of work from our original contractual engagement that we suggested and agreed to complete. So we accepted all of those applications. We did the initial resume review, preliminary open source checks. We requested responses on initial interview questions by creating a written and video recorded exercise that all of the candidates were asked to complete. And now, after presenting today, we'll move into the rest of that. So this timeline moves us into April. Again, all of this stuff that's highlighted in green, that's additional work that was beyond the original contracted scope of work for T2 Professional Consulting that we have engaged in, and all of this is also complete. In addition, in April, we began providing the director and assistant director training. The first round of topics was the culture and communications training in 2 days. Ultimately, we received approximately 50 applications for the city manager position through all the various channels that we utilized. In May, last month, we conducted a preliminary review of all applicants. So we reviewed everyone's resume, their cover letter, and ensured that each person that applied actually met the minimum qualifications that you set and ratified on March 21st. Then we also administered them the questionnaire and began to receive those. We reviewed those questionnaires and conducted our initial interviews. In addition, in May, we also provided 2 additional days of training for the directors and assistant directors, which was part of the original scope. Now, in this month, today, we are going to ultimately present our best candidates. Assuming, and we'll talk about this here in just a second, we move forward, we will complete the items there, starting with administering the trimetrics assessment. We can actually administer those links today. That is ready as soon as you identify which candidates will be moving forward for that. Once they complete that result, or complete that assessment, we'll give them just a few days to do that. We will conduct the additional job fit interviews based upon that result, June 13th through the 19th. Then we have proposed to present to you the finalists on June 20th for you to ultimately make a selection and publicly identify those finalists at a special council meeting on June 20th. And then we would coordinate the in-person interviews, council meet and greet. We talked about a couple of different options back in March as to how we might handle that, and those can be conducted June 26th through 30th. So the impact there, Our presented candidates that we have for you today all meet or exceed the qualifications that you developed. They are also aligned with your council benchmark, so we are pleased to present those candidates to you. I already explained what the trimetrics and job fit interviews, how that tool will be used to ensure fit as we move forward. And then in-person interviews with you all, staff, and/or the public, however you choose to arrange that, will truly allow you to assess how that person performs and interacts with you and their constituents. Finally, we currently have scheduled 4 final days of director and assistant director training, June 19th through the 22nd. Any questions so far just about the overview of this, what we've accomplished up to this date?
Council, any questions? Man, that's
I've
loud.
got one.
Sure.
Kind of bothered me. I'm looking at all this stuff highlighted in green and created city manager job posting and brochure, and all these things are, they're beyond the contracted scope of work.
That's correct.
I did not understand that.
Would you like
I
to see a
thought that
copy of the
was a major-
contract?
I guess I just have slept since then. I'm sure I have, maybe I haven't. But I just don't remember that the selection process for the city manager was the whole reason, the basic reason for the contract, besides this other stuff. So we're paying extra for these?
No, you haven't paid a dime extra. That was additional
Why do you say
direction.
beyond contracted scope of work then?
Pardon?
Why do you say beyond contracted scope of work?
The scope of work is very clearly defined in the contract. And at the meeting on March 21st, we outlined a plan to move forward. Council directed that we move forward with that plan, and we have, and are here today to deliver it. But none of the information that is highlighted in green is included in the scope of work from the contract. We
But-
have completed all of that as requested and without any additional cost.
Well, I just wanted to make sure of.
Yes, sir.
Did I just miss that, Dan?
Yes, sir, probably so.
Well,
I should understand that.
so on the council meetings in March 21st, March 21st, it was a discuss and consider posting city manager's job position. This is when it was stated the advertiser would be the Texas Municipal League, and then other
That's correct.
networks. And it was recommended T2 develop a brochure and market the application utilizing job description. So this was the direction that came from council. But it wasn't in the original scope of work. It was beyond that, but the thing, we're not being charged for it.
Well, I understand, but now that I think about it,
And so the,
I'm sorry, my problem is I don't think I ever saw the contract.
Mr. Thompson? or
Maybe,
Mr. Mayor,
maybe I
may
did, it was after, maybe it was afterward,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't ever remember seeing the contract, it's been a long time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Copy, sir.
So these were a deliverable that was above and beyond that was, that the T2 took upon themselves when we had the discussion March 21st.
Yes, sir, in partnership with council.
Okay. Council, any other questions?
I'd say I'm in kind of the same boat as Councilman Thompson, but I, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah,
It's been our
thank you.
pleasure.
Any other questions? So, go ahead, continue.
All right. Since March 21st, when we met, we have communicated with the city. In the left-hand column there, that summarizes updates that we have provided in the entire process. So all of those updates came through April, and all of these updates came through in May, identifying exactly week to week how many applicants we had received, what the process was. We also asked a number of clarifying questions during that time. I believe there's a copy of this correspondence up on the dais as well. But those are all of the communications that we have provided so far to the city of Odessa as this process has unfolded. And again, there on the right, we have the direction that we outlined on March 21st and how to move forward. So, and Mr. Mayor, are we ready to move on to the next item, or are there any?
Council, any questions on this? Any
So-
questions?
Well, my question is this, you provided emails to the city.
Mr. Haney? Yeah, thank you, sir.
Sorry. You provided emails to the city. None of us up here received any emails. At all on these updates.
I don't have an explanation as to why that did not happen.
Mr. Lunt, your communication with staff?
There are copies of the information that was provided up on the dais, but yes, sir.
We can direct any emails. Can you go back to that other slide behind us? Okay, from 4:03 to 5:31, can we get those emails to council?
Here's another copy.
I was just, I don't have a copy, but maybe.
Mr. Lunt, so basically, this was the final draft that was brochure that was sent to council. Then it was an updated report first to candidate application, fitness testing, the public safety employees updating application process, finalizing training dates, director and director training, updating the application process along with phase one vetting questionnaires. This was the questionnaire that was for the candidates.
For which date, sir?
This would be 4/29.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is the email where we shared exactly what the questions were that folks were being asked to provide on, through the written responses and the recorded audio-video responses.
On the applicants, and then
That's
updated
correct.
application process, 9 submitted phase one responses, then it goes on and on. So, and on the emails, it will have who's tagged on.
That's correct.
Yeah. So we can go ahead and resend those and make them available to the public. It will be, that way you save a PIR request. And get that out. Any other questions on this? Okay, go on. Any other questions? Go ahead and move on, sir.
All right. Regarding the agenda item for considerations for updating the timetable. So the value that's been received up to this point is conservatively estimated in the left-hand column of this slide. It adds approximately to 390 or so total $1,000. Our compensation that has been rendered to date, including all expenses, is $170,000. Options to move forward. Given that there is an agenda item to terminate or to consider terminating the contract with T2 Professional Consulting today, if written notice is provided today, again, per the contract, all work beyond the contracted scope does cease. The city would need to, at that point, administer the trimetrics, conduct any necessary follow-up job fit interviews, identify and announce the finalists, coordinate and conduct the in-person interviews, make a conditional job offer, and complete negotiations, conduct the final background investigation, cancel or find an alternative provider for the June 19th through 22nd training, and our total compensation rendered at that point would be $188,000. So that is option number one, as we see it. Option number two, T2 Professional Consulting can move forward as we plan to do from the March 31st or March 21st council meeting. In that way, we would go ahead and administer the trimetrics assessment. We would conduct the follow-up job fit interviews. We will present recommended finalists, presumably June 20th, as we've requested to do. We will be happy to coordinate the in-person interviews, facilitate conditional job offer negotiations, and provide the scheduled training, June 19th through 22nd. We are happy to agree to a completion date there of July 13th. If we did that, that would bring our total compensation rendered to $218,000. Option three would be to have us complete the background investigation for the ultimate finalist. Given that option two would include the entire modified scope of work that council agreed or suggested that we take on March 21st, we're happy to conduct that background investigation at a significantly reduced rate to finish out the entire project, and our total compensation there would be $225,000, and we will be completed by August 13th with that. And the very important piece, again, with the contract is that Odessa engaged with T2 Professional Consulting for up to 1 year. And that being a total, if that occurred, of $338,000. Assuming you select today to move forward with option 3, that being the most expensive option and also the most complete, you will receive the entire process for $113,000 less than the original contract.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So originally in March, I asked for the timeline to be completed July, and you said you could accommodate that. So option 3 says August 13th. Is there no way that y'all can complete everything at the end of July with what we
So-
originally asked for, March 21st?
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Swanner. The question, as I recall that you asked, was about that timetable and could we move it up? And my response was, absolutely we can, depending upon candidates. So what I'll share very generically right now before we move into executive session, we have a candidate who has some real trouble with potentially attending that last week in June for some reasons that I'll explain. But we can make that work and shift that forward as quickly as possible. There is no way to move the process any faster than what we have outlined here. As you saw from the email documentation that we have that I provided now and that was provided several weeks ago, we have been requesting confirmation and updates on this process for several weeks and have not received responses.
So council, does council want to discuss this option to move forward now?
No.
Or do we want to discuss this after we come back out of executive? Okay. Mike, is there anything else you want to add on this?
No, sir?
You're gonna need to make a motion to,
Yeah, go to executive session, yeah.
no, Mayor, I'm saying you need to make a motion to take the rules out of order, to suspend the rules.
Yeah, okay,
Since you're gonna do
yeah,
number 3.
yeah,
You're gonna come back to number 3 after 4, I'm assuming.
yes, sir, yes, sir. So that was it, that's your presentation, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I'm gonna request, council, since we, I'm gonna ask for a motion to suspend the rules to be able to discuss items on the agenda out of order. We were going to now skip over from 3 to 4 and then come back after executive session to discuss item 3. So do I have a motion to suspend the rules? And I'll consider a motion for approval.
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilmember Swanner. Do I have a second? Second by Councilmember Thompson to suspend the rules on the agenda. All in favor indicating by saying aye. Aye. All opposed indicating by saying nay. Motion passes unanimously. We're now going to flip and we're going to go to item 4. And we're just transposing those. Item 4 is as authorized by the Texas Government Code, Section 551.074. Personnel matters, the city council may adjourn into executive session to consider personnel matters, thus city manager. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilmember Swanner. Do I have a second? Second by Councilmember Cornell. All in favor indicating by saying aye. Aye. All opposed indicating by saying nay. Motion passes unanimously. We are going to executive session and we will return.
Oh. I'm in pain.
You look like you've been wrestling.
Oh, I stepped on a curb, I stepped on a, yeah. Don't worry, I'm not.
Yeah,
No, 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 no. I'm like, that right now.
Yes, I'm gonna send you the story and have you read it, is that okay? Okay, I'll send it right now. Yeah, are you busy right now? Okay, yes, sir. Yeah, I'll send it to you and you can touch base with me. Oh, okay, sounds good, thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
So,
I mean, I'll ask Stan too after this.
Yeah, they're getting frustrated because they've done all this work adjusting levels and,
I don't know what I saw for the outside.
the actual,
Yeah, so, yeah.
I forgot to say that.
I know, we were talking about that earlier, we're like, who's the phone is that? So, yeah, no, I'll, like I said, I'll ask them.
On the waveform on the drum track. And it got out of sync and I couldn't get it back into sync.
Sorry, I'm no help. You're fine.
Start over. So I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do is go back, I wanna get done, finish this mess and then. Start, do another version of it.
I figured.
I mean, it's been sounding great, you know, I think whoever bands play the master version. But, so two of the keyboards are supposed to be stereo, there's no stereo. But on one side is louder, well, one side is louder than the other.
It's 4 o'clock.
Well, something is, you see, problem. There you go. Yeah. But other than that, so what did the doctor say?
It's like a check mark.
Well, you're gonna have to share that, you're gonna have to go to the red line. Hang out a little bit.
It's hard to cover a murder show from here, isn't it?
Let me, yeah, so, yeah. This one. There you go. Enjoy the homeless guy says beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so well. Yeah, actually really, I'm not in the mood for a beer. No, what this is, a lot cheaper. I got the,
Yeah, they decided to have a weekend.
I got these senior. Yeah, I'll get $7 for a drink and yeah, because usually they'll charge you. During the day, it's but they charge you for the small ones. So the charge $7. Usually charge $2 for the drink. All for that. So you end up paying like $2. Choosing Yeah, so it turned out pretty good. I had some ladies who already put on my do what I told you to do. Oh, I'm sure he was like. Still in high school. So you even talk about it. Apparently he's a new one. Rehab will be happy to speak for him. Rehab.
I just can see the call.
Yeah, so. Yeah, no, he was young.
Hi Carla, welcome to being how are ya? I'm doing well. Hey, yes, I ran into Gilbert and I was like, hey, did you take the pictures? Cause I do, I think, different Friday posting. And so you're gonna send it to me? Okay.
Yeah, so finally,
Okay. Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you so much for doing that. Okay, thank you. Talk to you later.
so. That's what I'll make it tonight. That's the plan. She finally talked to me last night. she had bought, she bought a house. And she told me that last year, that the guy was, the person next door, she saw a guy up on the roof. And then she goes outside.
There's a difference between training and practice.
Yes. She didn't say whether it was hanging off the tree. It was up on the roof. And she goes, "Hit something." And she goes, "No, this is hanging there." I said, "That's you." And I said, "I'm sure. I'm sure." And my mom, yeah, my mom. Then she wakes up. But, I don't know, man. Oh, leaving. Well, who's gonna do my income tax? The candidates? Well, yeah. 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 Well, they're gonna probably wind up dying and then, you know. I renewed my, assuming this, I renewed my. Well, I wanted to watch Noah, the Nicolas Cage movie that's pretty good. And, I had to. No, no, I wanna see that one. It's the one where it's, his son is this. They built this time capsule out of, they have a space around time capsule. And everybody gets pictures of it. And so when he gets his, it's pulling up, and it turns out they're dates of tragic events. them stuff, and you tell them stuff, and it's like you're just talking to the wall. Well, that's not even, that's not, the Scientologists are, that's a hell of a cover. You're the one, what are the one, well, you know, they believe that they're the 100 people. Who did y'all, smoker? Yeah, who did you have to beat up to get that smoker? Yeah. So my question would be, how many people, you know, how many people would it take to get to, do this area? Judas Iscariot said, yeah. Can't go over 144.
It's one of our subscribers, so I just goes off, I don't know what.
I guess you landed. Well, man. Why? You didn't bring no chicken? So is that what you're calling it?
My brain is just fried from all this writing, I'm like, I just wanna do it, I just wanna be done.
Yeah.
Why do I have to, my mom's the English major, so of course I always think of it, and I'm like, I can hear her yelling at me.
My husband's an English major. I would leave him notes, you know, before I where I have the notes. It's a note. Yeah, he doesn't text me in complete sentences.
Oh. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like, I was covering something with OBD one time, and it's, you know, I said, I do a lot of stuff, and I'll drive around through the cruiser, and I would see the buttons on it.
But now I have all this social media, people want to see people right.
Oh, hey, I was watching, Airport.
You wouldn't or what? I would know I wouldn't. I'm trying to freak out. today. I'm gonna roll Britney's man. My husband would, look at that.
We have a singing, in airport, I said, what was it? Is it airport? I think it was airport 77. I'll watch it, no, that's right. Airport 77. Airport 77. Oh, no, you're talking about, you're talking about airplane. Airport, then airport 75, airport 77. And airport 77, I think of a car. So each element is.
So do we have a lot of information, so I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, well, good luck. Let me know. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Might as well swear it out. And then ring it out when you get there. This is really bad for me when you get there. You don't like it.
Can I get you? Let me get you. I don't work here in the seventies. Do you have a picture?
Do you have a picture of him? Yeah, that's my fear when I go, usually when I go here. I'm sure I'm bad. They're gonna take your picture and they're gonna sit there and stuff. My fear is that I won't fit all this in the cup. Oh, crap. Tomorrow I'll tell you the story when I didn't say that. I didn't say that before. I said, oh, God, you want to picture of my hands. Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow I'll tell you the story what happened at the shop commercial there, which when we took a break, it was during the break. And that's how it actually started. All right. All right, later.
Sometimes I have these moments, and I'm yelling, this is what I want to do. But my brain has been so fried from all the writing I'm doing lately, I'm like.
No.
I profiled that guy, did you see his profile? What's his name? But we posted on it on Facebook, yeah.
First contact. No, no.
Yeah. I sent it to you on text, so read it and then say, Monica, you can be like, hey, why don't you add this? They do this, or, something I may not know since I didn't go on there. Okay. Okay, thanks, Jesse. I don't know what that is. What's a vote paper form? I'm confused. Oh, I didn't read that closely because I just thought you were gonna contact the principal there. Oh, I thought you were going to. Oh, I thought you meant like, that's why I was like, oh, contact the principal. No, I didn't contact her because I'm sorry, I guess I got confused on that. Okay, I'm sorry. That's what I'm telling you, I threw it and it was, hold off. I showed him. Maybe he's been so over. I talked to him yesterday. I'll pin him down again today and be like, yeah, pasto. You know how it is. It's just like right now. You sent me an email and I didn't quite understand it. So I'm sure that's a problem. Maybe he didn't quite understand it. So I'll pin him down again today. Okay, Justin, look over that so I know it's right, and if there's something I should add, let me know. Okay, muchas gracias, thank you, bye. Okay, bye.
see it on Muchos.
Yes, they.
I was telling Gabby, as soon as this meeting's over, I'm taking the oldest grandson. Where you going? To El Paso. It's going to Mexico Saturday.
Yeah, gonna go to war.
And last week he found that his passport was expired.
So he's gotta go.
So this August Floor's office got him an appointment.
Yeah.
It's 8:30 tomorrow morning at the Federal Building in El Paso, so I'm driving him over there. So
Oh,
he can-
great.
And they're gonna renew it on the spot. and
Oh,
everything.
that is great.
Give him his new passport so he can
Oh,
go to
that's
Mexico.
gonna be fun.
Well,
Now, what we
so
get to Papa son, this is all those kids. So much fun.
he's all but crying.
Well, Papa, you gotta take it. You gotta take it. Hey, that's what you gotta do. Yes, sir.
Dan, can I file honest comp on my hamstring?
You can. Yes, sir, you can.
I was trying to take care of him.
That's hard to do, Steve. You guys go ahead and hold that. You're doing me a favor.
I feel real good about that.
No, let me tell you something. Most effective. Find what you're researching. But you're, you know, we were passport.
Moving forward. I'm gonna file workman's comp claim on the
It's
way.
presumed.
Yes, presumed.
That's all city business. No, it's hitting Marfa. Oh. Yeah, stepped on a curb wrong. Chris Shonner was right behind me. He saw me do it. I stepped on this, like, you know, one of those old short curbs like this. Stepped like that. Down went Frazier.
Okay, seeing that there was no business conducted in executive session, I will entertain a motion to come back into general session.
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilmember Thompson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Swanner. All in favor indicating by saying aye. Aye. All opposed indicating by saying nay. Motion passes unanimously. We are back in general session. We're going to move back to item 3. Consider updating city manager timetable be completed. I will ask for council to consider a motion on item 3 on change dates. Instead of June 3rd, it would be the June 26th week, 2023. Stand corrected? Is that correct?
Mayor, consider updating the city manager time that it be completed. So what we're gonna do is, I believe, option 3 was the offer.
Can we bring that back up on the screen?
Bring it back up? 100%.
Sorry about that. You didn't know you were going to work as IT.
Hey, that's all right.
Option 3, I think, was August 13th being completed, so we would need a motion to reject, item number 3, and to instead have a motion to accept.
On the option, based on the option 3, so let's take a look at that.
If that makes any sense.
As clear as mud.
So would it be a motion to reject the June 30th date?
Yes, and instead have a motion to accept option 3, which would be August 13th. I do believe that's correct.
There is a silver bird waiting for me.
Oh, is it? What time?
No, it's okay. We're good. We're good. They'll let me on. Are you all able to see my screen?
It's coming up slowly, yeah.
Here it is.
There it is.
There you are.
Okay.
So Mayor, we just need a motion to reject. number
So-
3 and a motion to accept.
So council, will you, I'll consider a motion to reject item 3, consider updating city manager's timetable completed by June 30, 23. Do I have a motion to
So moved.
reject? I have a motion by Councilmember Vasquez to reject item 3. Do I have a second?
Right here, second.
Second by Councilmember Haney. All in favor indicating by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed indicating by saying nay. Motion passes unanimously. We are now going to seek a motion to approve option 3, T2PC to complete. Item 2, conduct and coordinate final background investigation. Agreed upon completion date of August 13th. And it would be a compensation of $225,000 would be total. Is that correct? So I have a motion for approval by council.
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilman Thompson, second.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Haney. All in favor indicating by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed indicating by saying nay. Motion passes unanimously. So we are now on option 3.
August 13th.
Okay, now we're gonna move on to item 5, consider date for interviews on city manager finalist. Council discussion on that?
Do you need a motion on the date?
Well,
We need a motion.
we need a motion
But we need
and,
discussion first.
yeah, that's what I mean. We need to have a discussion on the dates for the interviews. So basically, we need a motion for the June 26th?
Well, this discussion would, I'm assuming that it would be that we would have some open dates available to us, but we would want to consider just one of those open dates?
Week 26?
May I make a recommendation?
Yes, sir.
I would, for council's consideration, I would like to suggest that that you all authorize the holding of the in-person interviews for the position of Odessa City Manager finalist candidates the week of June 26th, with a preference being for all of the interviews to be conducted
June
on Monday, June 26th.
That's,
Was that in form of the motion, Micah?
I was just trying to lay it all
If
out
it
there.
wasn't, I'll make it.
I'll make
I'm
that
trying to
motion.
repeat it.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have
I'll
a motion by Councilmember
I'll second
Swanner.
it.
Second by Councilmember Thompson. All in favor indicating
I
by
didn't
saying
want
aye.
to say it.
aye.
All opposed indicating by saying nay. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, council.
We're going to move on to item
Silver
6.
wings.
Discuss and consider terminating T2 Professional Consulting. Basically, we have to reject this because we're already,
Because
it's already done all the way to August 13th.
13th, yeah.
Okay, so council, I'll have, consider a motion for rejecting agenda item 6.
So moved.
Councilmember, motion by Councilmember Haney. Do I have a second?
A second.
Second by Councilmember Cornell. All in favor indicating by saying aye.
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 All those opposed indicating by saying nay. Motion passes unanimously. Item 6 is been rejected. Moves on to the best part. I have a motion, since there is no more business before the city council, I will consider a motion to adjourn by Councilmember
So moved.
Swanner. Second by Councilmember
So a second.
Vasquez. All in favor indicating by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed indicating by saying nay. Motion passes unanimously. We are adjourned. Be careful going home.
Thank you very much.
Norma, you got something you need to sign?